Hey guys, welcome back to the channel as we continue my HM long traveled build on my Gen 1 Raptor. In the first video, we prepped the truck and took everything off of it to start the build. Then HM stripped the front suspension, cut off the shock buckets and started the frame reinforcement. And then in the last video, the new shock towers were installed and just completely blew us away. In this video, we're going to start to clean off all my old suspension so that we can get it ready to sell and help us fund more future upgrades with the truck. Hey guys, I'm Haley with Keep It Dirty Off-Road. Welcome back to the channel. If this kind of content interests you, please consider subscribing, like, comment, interact with this video. It's the best way you can support us. All right, now let's get into this video. The first step in getting the suspension ready to sell was to remove the old hubs off the spindles.
Do you want to torque it or get it out, or do you want me to?
We had actually just replaced these a few months ago, so they still had some life in them. And our goal was to try to get at least another year out of them. At least I hope we get another year out of them. We'll see.
Boys, move. Stop. I mean, you can get in and help.
My boys had done this type of work before. They just had never done it with the spindle outside of the truck, so they were struggling a little bit. So this old man had to kind of step in and show them a little common sense.
Oh, there he goes. Nope. It'd be more random.
Yeah. Welcome to my house.
I didn't hit you though. I was making sure I didn't hit you.
You almost, because I was aware of what was happening.
Yeah, what did we do? You keep trying to hit us in the face. He did hit me in the face.
No, I didn't hit you. More like you didn't dodge. There's a difference.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
There's no difference.
There's a difference between actually hitting you and you not dodging.
Well, there's a difference between hitting me and being attention to who you hitting.
What's the matter?
It's not coming out. There's no gap for me to suction, so I suction.
Kids today, no common sense whatsoever.
Give me the mouth. I want to do it. You're good? I got the rest. Okay guys, welcome back to a cleaning tutorial. Today we're going to clean some free parts to give to you all.
Around this time is when my new CV axles arrived.
That's the CV axle. Oh, we don't need it. Take it back. Shut up. No.
I had to order new axles, at least ends, because I had to replace this one that was stripped earlier, right? We had to cut one of the nuts off. I only needed the actual ends so that we can add HM's extended shafts onto them to get them the correct lengths, but nobody actually sells the actual ends. Even though the stock CVs are rebuildable, Ford doesn't actually sell any individual parts. You have to buy them all together. So we bought a set from Rock Auto, a Motorcraft set. That's key. You don't want to get crap aftermarket Motorcraft or nothing, because the other ones aren't rebuildable. But the box arrived damaged. Luckily they were fine. We got lucky. And for those wondering, I did try to get RCV axles for the build, but currently they have a 12-week lead time for the axles that we need, and they really suck. Not their products, it's just them as a company kind of sucks. I try to call them a few times and they just don't answer their phones, so I decided to go the alternate way of emailing them, and they took forever to get that. And after 2 weeks, I was finally able to get a quote, but they didn't answer the majority of my questions that I asked. It was just an extremely frustrating process to get a custom quote just for the shafts. I didn't need the whole things because I have RCVs that I could reuse. And after all of that, I tried to call them to put my deposit and they didn't answer the phone. Extremely frustrating. I will eventually get my RCVs. I don't think I'll be able to go direct with them. I may just sell my old set, sell them for a decent price and just buy a whole new, because it'll just be easier just to click on the site and just order. I mean, I think that's what they prefer, because that was extremely frustrating contacting them. Here's a fun fact. I didn't know this, and maybe I'm incorrect in this, but did you guys know that the CV axles don't actually come with the nuts at the end of them? They're separate. You have to pay for those separate. Now, I did look it up online, and those little nuts at the end of the CV axles, you can get them from Ford, but they're $16 each, which is ridiculous to me for a single nut. The good thing though about going to the website is that I was able to find the size, and it turns out that they're M10s by 1.5. So I went to Mapmaster Car and got me a pack. And Ford was 16 bucks a nut. Mapmaster Car, I was able to get 10 with shipping. It was actually 8 bucks for the set, 8 or 9 bucks for the set of 10. And these are grade 10s too, they're a little bit stronger. So if you guys ever are missing bolts, use Ford to figure out the size and then order it from Mapmaster Car, guys. They're local to me, so here in Southern California, so usually when I order, I get it next day, which is kind of nice and saves you a ton of money. I love this company. Not sponsored by them in any way, guys. It's just, if you know about Mapmaster Car, you absolutely love them. Let's go get these over to Kevin so that he can use them on the axles. Now, anything that we could take apart and clean, we did. For example, those tie rods. We took those apart as much as we could to really get them properly cleaned.
How'd you get this off, Dad?
What? You went the wrong way.
Shut up.
You go forward.
That was my forward.
You have to go the other way, bud.
Oh no, shit. Thanks for the help, guys. I got it. So,
the next day started off by cleaning the bypass shocks while my son focused on the lower arms. Now this was the rear bypass shock, and after going through most of them, most of the arms and most of the other joints, this was the first joint that was beyond done after 2.5 years of off-roading.
Oh wow. This joint over here? Oh, this is like the first one I found that's bad. That's a shock.
what? It's a shock.
You're a donut.
Is that not where you were going with it?
No. But it's the first bad joint I found.
It's not even moving?
Oh, no, see the way it's moving?
Oh my.
It's not supposed to have any play.
That's a shock.
No, I'm just shocked that that's the first one we found. Every other joint's been fine.
I gotta give props to the company that made the kit. I put this truck through some major abuse, and only the high movement joints at the bottom, right? The lower shocks and all those were beyond warrant to the point that I needed to replace. I mean, everything else was close. It wasn't bad, but it shows that, you know, it's not all bad from the kit. They definitely got their arm and cycle geometry correct for those joints to last as long as they did, to survive as long as they did.
This one too. This joint needs to be replaced.
What'd you say?
This one also is bad.
That's a shock.
So like 3 out of the 4 were bad?
The lowers are bad.
Now, as we were cleaning the shocks, some of them did had some form of surface rust on them. So I took a wire wheel to them to make sure that we clean as much of that off and make sure that there was no rust that was actually fully penetrated into the body. Whoever gets these shocks will obviously need to do a proper rebuild on them, and at the very least do a fresh coat of paint as well.
Like, I was wondering, like, which artist do I have the most of? I have like 10 to 15 Lana Del Rey songs that I play. So, like,
Are you obsessed with Lana Del Rey?
well, she makes good music.
Or do you like the way she moves her belly?
Huh?
That's a Shakira.
We lost you at Best Buy once, remember?
No.
We were at Best Buy looking at speakers and TVs, and we lost you because you were staring at the Shakira performance. And it's like, what happened, buddy? It's like, what? I like the way she shakes her belly.
And your dad was like, yes, he's not gay.
That's exactly what I said, actually.
Exactly what you said.
There's the front suspension, all ready to go. So we're going to be selling this as a package. By the time this video's up, most likely this is already going to be on sale or already sold. You got the arms, lowers, and uppers, tie rods, front coilovers with the correct perch and the correct springs, the spindles, the bypass shocks, the brake lines, and then I'm including my shafts too. I'm including both because I actually can't reuse them. These are Gen 1 shafts, so they'll fit a Gen 1. Rather than just take these apart and give you guys the axle, you guys are going to get the whole thing as a spare. Just keep in mind, That one's no good because we had to cut that one off. That one's stripped. Everything's in good shape. Obviously the shocks need a rebuild. It's overdue. The majority of the joints are good, but all the lower joints and all the shocks need to be replaced at the very least. And then some of the joints, some of the high-end joints as you're going about need to be replaced. It's been 2.5 years, so I'm actually surprised by the condition of most of the joints. Most of the joints are actually in really good shape, very little play. It's only 1 or 2 joints that are bad. So yeah, gonna put it up. I think we're gonna list it for $9,500, and we'll see what kind of offers you get. But there's the front kit, and the next is the rear kit. Now the rear kit 4.0, the rack itself, which I still gotta clean. We'll do that tomorrow, but I gotta clean that rack. The rack's gonna go with the light bar that's on there too. Now I still got the bump stops and the leaf pack from the old truck, but that's at HM right now. We still haven't been able to get those, so hopefully later this week we can get those out. Hit me up if it hasn't sold. We'll put the marketplace listing below if it hasn't sold yet, and if you guys want it, hit me up.
As of the filming of this video, the front suspension has already sold. It's gone, guys. It only lasted about a week on Facebook Marketplace. So if you guys want to buy this kind of stuff, you got to move quick because they go quick. There's a lot of people out there looking for them. Big thank you to 93 Land Cruiser who bought it. He knew exactly what he was getting into. He asked a ton of questions. And the best thing about this is he is a DIYer like I am. So he is going to DIY as much as he can and do as much of the work himself. And that's exactly the kind of guy that we wanted to get this kit. So big thank you to him for supporting us. And I hope you get a lot of good use out of it, and I hope it works great for you, man. Now, next up to get clean was the bump stops. The bump stops had been on the truck for 2.5 years without getting removed or anything like that. They were pretty stuck. I couldn't get that top nut to release, and it also didn't help that I didn't have the right wrench. I only had a crescent wrench that wasn't really long enough to get some torque out of it. So we had to get creative to get that off. Bumps also had a lot of surface rust on them because they're in the line of fire, right? They're getting all the debris from the rear tire, but there's also some of the front tire debris that's going up in there too. So we had to get that off too to really check the state of them. And they're actually, luckily they were in really good state after we removed all that rust. Now, as of the filming of this video, the bump stop 2 have sold. Those actually lasted even less. I think I had them on Facebook Marketplace for like 2 days before they were bought. So big thank you to Chris for buying those up, and again, for supporting the channel.
So there it is, guys. That's gonna go up for sale here pretty soon. We're gonna make sure the next owner knows this does make contact with the leaves. I've heard this is fairly normal. This is the back part of it, right? You can see the bolts kind of worn out, and then the actual bump stop itself makes some contact there. And then same thing on the other side. It's fairly normal. Otherwise than that, everything else was in good shape. Bumps had a little bit of rust that I scraped off. But they probably should be rebuilt. It's not a bad idea. They haven't been rebuilt in 2.5 years, but they're all set, going up for sale.
The last item we had to clean up was the chase rack. And I was honestly not in a rush to get this one clean because I knew it was gonna be a hard sell. Not everybody wants that crazy big look, right? The Marty McFly look. At its base, it's the 3-letter company's chase rack on there, their bed rack setup. That's over $2,000 these days. 4.0 shocks, who knew this? They're up to $6,200 these days. Who knew they got that expensive? I was blown away. And then I have at least $8,000 in labor invested in that shock with what I paid WOG and all the labor and all the tubing and everything they had to do the structures and everything they did. And that doesn't even count for all the little things that I did after the fact, right? All the little adjustments, the chase bar, the hitch mount. There's a lot of stuff that I did to this rack that I'll never be able to get back. I easily have $16,000 invested in this thing that I'll never see. That's the way that these things work. So I'm going to try to recoup some of that back, but I know it's going to be a harder sell. And it doesn't help too that at its core, the 3-letter company's chase rack wasn't really designed to be a structural component of the bed. It wasn't designed to take the load of, you know, reinforcing the whole bed and the end of the tailgate and everything like that. So it actually has a crack in one of the spots on the passenger side and on the original rack. And I've actually already repaired it once. So whoever gets this rack will need to repair that. You know, there's a couple options that we get to take in here, guys. Like I could have cut this up and made it work for the HM build. We could have repaired that section, but honestly, when it comes down to labor to get it all dialed in exactly how I needed to run correctly with HM's geometry, it wouldn't have been worth it, and it would have been the same cost as a new rack. So we decided to go with a new rack for this build. Unfortunately, it's a big loss for us. Now, I'm hoping that this rack's gonna go to another DIYer that's gonna really enjoy the rack. They're gonna repair it, modify it however they need to for themselves, and get it fully painted up and put it right on their truck. The chase rack is up on Facebook Marketplace right now, guys. So if you guys are interested, please go check that out and shoot me a DM, shoot me an offer if you're interested. That's another way that you guys can support the channel, is buying some of our old parts and running them on your truck. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on. There's a lot of features on there. I can't go into it all, but like, you know, I got spots for my power tank, my Badlands jack, the gas cans with straps, dual spare mount, winch mount, chase light mounts. The chase light comes with it. A custom toolbox that I have that I actually took out because I was using bags for a little bit, but that's coming with it. It's got an umbrella holder for those little umbrellas for your patio, right? So you can use it on the desert. It's got an axe holder. I'm actually going to include the axe because the axe is the only thing that'll fit in there. I mean, and plenty of tie down points that I use for like all my camping gear and all that stuff. And like I said, I'm going to include the light bar with it because it's a little too old and it's, I mean, there's no value in it, right? One of the lenses has to be replaced. We're just going to throw it in as part of it so that somebody has at least the light bar rings and they can replace all the lights and do whatever they want with it. So again, if you guys are interested, you want to support the channel, we'll put the Facebook Marketplace link below, and please consider supporting the channel by buying that if you like it. Now, I know a lot of you guys are wondering, why am I putting all this effort into cleaning out the old parts? And it's not really going to add to the value of the parts, right? And it, you know, and it really isn't, but there's 3 major reasons why I did this. 1, I don't want to pass a lot of this damage off to the next guy. 2, people on Facebook Marketplace are assholes. You know it, you guys know it, the low ball offers that I keep getting, especially on the front suspension. I don't want somebody to use all that dirt in the state of the shocks to lowball me. I know how much the stuff is worth it, and I want to make sure I get as much as possible for it. And then lastly, I wanted to make sure that the actual accurate state of all the gear was fully visible. It wasn't hidden by some dirt or anything like that. I want to make sure that whoever gets this knows exactly what they're getting into. And we're going to be extremely straightforward with them and talk about all the good and the bad that we had with it. Nothing will be hidden. You know, for example, you guys saw it, those that have been following this journey with us since the beginning, you know, from when we got the truck and drove it back, you know, when it was new to us, the CV axle was rubbing on the coils and actually rubbed a little thing on there. The owner's going to know that. Second, the tie rods make contact with the coils. They just do. And they've worn some little pieces off on the coil springs, so they're going to know about that too. They're also going to know how the original owner damaged the adjustment rings. We couldn't get replacement rings because we got the truck during COVID, and you just couldn't get replacement rings for some reason. Fox wasn't shipping those. So hopefully with the rebuild, they'll be able to get those. They're going to know about how the bump stops make contact with the leaves. I thought this was abnormal, but no, it's fairly normal. It happens with all of them. And they do make contact with the leaves, and they will wear a little notch on them. And then finally, how the rear chase rack has a small crack in it. It wasn't designed for the load that we gave it. Again, guys, nothing will be hidden. We're gonna be straightforward with everything that is good and bad. And at the same time, they're gonna help us further our build, because whatever revenue we get from the parts is gonna go straight back into the truck for the second phase, because the HM build doing the front and rear suspension is just the start. This isn't the end, and I fund everything myself out of my own pocket so that we can stay partial. I want to keep my opinion. I want to be able to say what I want. All right, guys, so that's it for this video. We got more content coming for you guys. In the next video, the front suspension goes on, and it's gonna blow you guys away. If you guys haven't already seen it on our Instagram page, go check it out, because the front suspension is wild seeing it put together in real life. The design did not do it justice. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. It's the best way you can support the channel. And thanks for watching, guys.